Well, six is what Rabada managed on the last delivery, but even then, Delhi was 15 runs short as Hyderabad registered their first win in Indian T20 League 2020 season. Hello and a warm welcome, everybody. The match was between the table toppers and the bottommost position ones, and at the end of it, Hyderabad came out very strongly, and David Warner and his side were able to register their first win, as I said before. हेलो एंड युवराज, फाइनली जो हम बात कर रहे थे कि हैदराबाद ये वाला गेम जीत सकती है, कुछ उसी तरह हुआ.
Every time we feel that a team is in good form, they're going well, that team loses a game. And every time we feel that this time this team is not looking up to the mark, they're not looking comfortable at all, that team manages a win. Similarly, we saw it with Punjab, we saw it with Bangalore. Chennai have lost 2 games now. So a lot of surprises have sprung up in this IPL, in this league so far, and we're loving it for sure. I think if there are no surprises in cricket, then it's not worth watching.
No, absolutely. You are absolutely right that we need surprises. We need that masala because we are Indians and we need that. Absolutely. So let's talk about this game. A lot of things to actually talk about. First thing first, Shreyas Iyer. He was looking that he was there, but he played a mistime shot to Rashid Khan, and then Rashid Khan was on fire. Rashid Khan की सेकंड बात करेंगे, पर पहले श्रेयस अय्यर की बात करते हैं. थोड़ा सा लूज शॉट हो गया वो वहां पे.
Attacked the wrong bowler, I think. He did attack the wrong bowler. As I mentioned earlier, I think I've been proved right. Rashid Khan looks really venomous, really dangerous whenever the batsmen are trying to go after him. And that's what happened. Shikhar Dhawan was trying to play a big expansive sweep shot. He got out, getting an under edge. Rishabh Pant was again trying to hit a six of him off a sweep shot. He got out. Shreyas Iyer was going after him. He got out. I don't think they picked the right bowler to go after, to be honest. But at the end of the day, Rashid Khan had the last laugh.
चलिए बात करते हैं थोड़ी सी. जैसे आपने शिखर धवन कहा, तो शिखर धवन एक स्टार्ट मिल चुकी थी, 34 पे थे. कैपिटलाइज करना था वहां पे, क्योंकि हम प्री शो के अंदर ये बात करते कि हो सकता है शिखर धवन अच्छा करें बल्ले से. पृथ्वी शॉ जल्दी आउट हो गए थे, शायद रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी थोड़ी ज्यादा लेनी चाहिए थी.
I think Prithvi Shaw should have done better today. You expect a lot of this young guy. और आज
शॉ के बारे में मैंने एक चीज नोटिस करी है युवराज की, कंसिस्टेंसी थोड़ी सी मिसिंग है वहां पे. वो पहले मैच में अगर नहीं परफॉर्म करते तो बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म करेंगे नेक्स्ट मैच में अगर बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म कर दिया तो वापस थोड़ी सी हल्की परफॉर्मेंस दिखती है. क्या रीजन है इसका?
कंडीशंस जज नहीं कर पा रहे हैं मेरे हिसाब से. आज हल्की सी स्विंग अवेलेबल थी, so he should have been a little cautious outside off stump, which he wasn't. He was trying to play the way he always plays. That is the problem here with Prithvi Shaw, that he doesn't adapt his game according to the conditions. उनका ये मंत्रा है मेरे हिसाब से कि मैं ऐसे खेलता हूँ, मैं हर जगह ऐसे खेलूंगा, which you can't do, of course. Earlier we saw in the where he scored 64, there the pitch was suiting him, it was coming onto the bat, he could play on the up, the ball was rising, he rised with the ball. But here it was different. Bhuvneshwar Kumar was getting a little bit of swing outside off stump, and of course whenever Bhuvneshwar Kumar gets swing, it's difficult to play that cut shot, those expansive cuts or square cuts outside off stump. So he needs to adapt according to conditions. He can't always give the excuse that I'll always play like this.
हम मैच डे में एक बात कर रहे थे युवराज, हम बात कर रहे थे 2 अफगानी की. उनमें से एक अफगानी आज खेले, उनका नाम है राशिद खान, और खेले ही नहीं क्या खेले. मतलब एक बार प्रूव कर दिया कि येस आई बिलोंग टू दिस लेवल. और जो उनसे एक्सपेक्टेशन हर साल रहती है वो पहले 2 मैचेस में शायद दिखा नहीं पाए थे, पर बहुत अच्छा कमबैक करा इस मैच में. और कमबैक ही नहीं करा, बेस्ट फिगर्स भी रिकॉर्ड कर लिए. 3 विकेट 14 रन देके, और 3 विकेट कोई ऐसे टेलेंडर्स के विकेट नहीं है, 3 विकेट है प्रॉपर बैट्समैन के विकेट लिए. अगर मैं आपको बताऊं, शिखर धवन को आउट करा, श्रेयस अय्यर को आउट किया और ऋषभ पंत को आउट किया. और ये 3 खिलाड़ी वो हैं युवराज जो सिर्फ और सिर्फ दिल्ली के लिए नहीं खेलते, ये भारत के लिए भी खेलते हैं. तो इनमें वो क्वालिटी है, इनमें वो बात है, और उनको आउट करके अपनी टीम को एक तरफा जिताना, क्योंकि 162 बनाने के बाद अगर कोई टीम 15 रन से जीते तो उसको एक तरफा मुकाबला ही कहेंगे?
जी बिल्कुल, I think Rashid Khan is in the team for this. That's exactly what he does. That's his role. He's a fierce competitor, and not surprised, to be honest, that Rashid Khan has recorded his best figures 3 for 14, because he does this. He's in the team to do this exactly. Today, to his advantage, batsmen were a little under pressure, because the run rate did climb in the middle overs, and that's where he came in. That's where it worked for him, and it was brilliant to see again Rashid Khan playing his straight, bowling those nice googlies without much change in the action. As I talked earlier, whenever he bowls the leg spinner, the googly, the straighter one, his action remains almost the same. It's so tough to pick up those subtle changes, those subtle variations, and I think Rashid Khan exploited the conditions to perfection.
एक आपको मैं एक ऐसी चीज बताने वाला हूं, इस मैच पे वापस आएंगे, पर उससे पहले मैं आपको एक ऐसी चीज बताने वाला हूं जिससे आप थोड़े से शॉक होने वाले हैं युवराज। तो मैं बोलता हूं थोड़ा सा प्रिपेयर कर लें आप, में आपको अगर थोड़ा सा गल्प करना है तो कर लें। चेन्नई 8वां स्थान पे आ चुकी है पॉइंट्स टेबल, और मैं आपको एक बात बताना चाहता हूं कि पहले 10 मैचेस के बाद और 3 इंडिविजुअल गेम के बाद ऐसा कभी भी इंडियन T20 लीग में नहीं हुआ है जब चेन्नई 8वें स्थान पे हो।
Surprising, to be honest. It's very difficult to gulp, as you said, very difficult to fathom. But I think Chennai have not played top cricket. They've not played the finest cricket this season, and I think going forward they'll need to turn this around. They'll need to turn this around quickly. They aren't looking like the best of sides. They do have a lot of experience, but the age factor might be working against them this time. So people take screenshots. I don't think Dhoni would let this happen again, that they're at the bottom of the table.
चलिए एक बात करते हैं, वापस इस गेम पे शिफ्ट होते हैं, और मैं बात करना चाहूंगा दिल्ली की। जब दिल्ली की बात कर रहे हैं तो युवराज, कहने को वो शायद टॉप पोजीशन पे होंगे, पर टॉप पोजीशन वाला अभी तक खेल आया नहीं है। अगर पिछले मैच को मैं हटा दूं तो पहले मैच के अंदर पंजाब से जैसे जीत गए, वो आपको ही पता है और मुझे भी पता है और जितने भी जने देख रहे हैं उनको पता है। 1 रन चाहिए था 3 बॉल के अंदर, शायद मार्कस स्टोइनिस का उस दिन था और वो जीत गए वो दूसरा मैच इंडियन T20 लीग का। पर आज का मैच और पहले मैच के अंदर कोई ज्यादा फर्क था नहीं युवराज। आप पहला मैच जीत जरूर गए, पर वो एक हार ही थी आपके लिए, और आज का मैच भी आप हार गए। तो अगर पूरे ओवरऑल देखा जाए तो कुछ इतना बेहतर स्टार्ट दिल्ली ने इस बार के टूर्नामेंट में करा नहीं है।
जी बिल्कुल, I think it's looking really even Stevens, all the teams. No team is looking like they're on top, they're at one extreme. No team is looking like they're rock bottom. So I think a very good tournament, a really competitive tournament. Every team is looking like they have some weaknesses, they have some strengths. At the end of the day, it's about the team who handles pressure the best, plays to their strengths, avoids their weaknesses. And I think it will be a really, really interesting script going ahead into the tournament.
चलिए एक बार अपने दर्शकों को स्कोर कार्ड दिखा देते हैं कि आज कैसे रही, आज का ये खेल कैसा रहा। सबसे पहले बात करते हैं हैदराबाद की, और हैदराबाद ने आज पहले बैटिंग करी। बैटिंग में उनको डाला गया क्योंकि दिल्ली ने जीता था टॉस और जीत के गेंदबाजी का डिसीजन लिया था। डेविड वार्नर और जॉनी बेस्टो पहले बैटिंग करने आए, ओपन उनने करा, 45 मारे डेविड वार्नर ने, 53 आए जॉनी बेस्टो के बल्ले से, और एक अच्छी स्टार्ट देने में अपनी टीम को बहुत ज्यादा कामयाब रहे। गेंदें थोड़ी ज्यादा ले ली, पर हमने शायद मिड शो के अंदर भी डिस्कस किया था कि क्यों उनने इतनी गेंदें ली। मनीष पांडे ज्यादा चल नहीं पाए, 3 रन पे अपना विकेट गंवाना पड़ा। केन विलियमसन एक साइड में वापसी कर रहे थे और वापसी नहीं करी, दिखा दिया कि आई बिलोंग टू दिस लेवल एंड आई शुड बी प्लेइंग इन दिस टीम। 41 of 26 deliveries, 5 boundaries, and he showed that I belong to this team. अब्दुल समाद को आज मौका मिला और मेरे को लगता है दोनों हाथों से जकड़ लिया है वो मौका। 12 रन 7 गेंदें, 1 चौका 1 छक्का, बता दिया है कि मैं बैटिंग कर सकता हूं। और लोअर मिडिल ऑर्डर में आके अगर इनका कॉम्बिनेशन विजय शंकर के साथ कहीं लग गया तो पहले 6 हैदराबाद के लिए काफी अच्छे हो सकते हैं युवराज। जहां तक इनकी बॉलिंग की बात करें दिल्ली की, तो कुछ ज्यादा देखने को है नहीं, क्योंकि कगीज और रबाडा ने 2 विकेट लिए, अमित मिश्रा ने 2 लिए, बाकी सबके नाम के आगे 0-0-0 ही है। कोई और विकेट ले नहीं पाया और कुल 4 विकेट ही गिरा पाई दिल्ली। जब दिल्ली बैटिंग करने आई तो 147 is what they were able to manage. Prithvi Shaw got out a little early just for 2 runs. 34 couldn't capitalize on the start he got. I'm talking about Shikhar Dhawan. Captain departed a little early, consumed a lot of deliveries. 17 of 21 deliveries. Rishabh Pant got a start, again couldn't capitalize. Shimron Hetmeyer showed what he's capable of, but couldn't continue to where the team would have wanted him to. मार्कस स्टोइनस आप हर मैच में एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर सकते कि आपको वो अकेले अपने बलबूते पे मैच जिता देंगे. 11 रन आए उनके बल्ले से. कगीज और रबाडा की इनिंग से मैं थोड़ा इंप्रेस हूं. 15 रन, 7 गेंदें, एक चौका, एक छक्का. काफी अच्छी इनिंग्स इनने खेली. भुवनेश्वर कुमार का काफी अच्छा कमबैक. पहले ही ओवर में आके पृथ्वी शॉ को चलता कर दिया था और बता दिया कि मैं इस लेवल पे हूं. खलील अहमद ने भी एक विकेट लिया और राशिद खान के 3 विकेट बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण रहे. और ओवरऑल हैदराबाद ने ये मैच 15 रन से जीत लिया है.
I think at the end, when Delhi was struggling a bit, it was all about the Hyderabad bowlers. They nailed their Yorkers to perfection. Whether it was Natarajan who started the rail, I think he did fabulously. क्या Yorkers उन्होंने डाली, nailed it. मैं इतने समय से यही बोलता आ रहा हूँ. When you need to restrict the runs, you have to go towards the Yorker. There's no better ball at any time in any season, in any format. Yorker is your best ball, and they executed it to perfection. Even Khalil Ahmed showed at the end that he can bowl Yorkers, and he did really nicely. Apart from that, Bhuvneshwar is a specialist, of course. Natarajan, I'm really impressed with, and I think they will persist with him for longer in this season.
Absolutely, absolutely. And how about we move to our last segment now, and that is, of course, best tweets of the game. The first one is coming from Vinayak. He says, wanted somebody to address the shortage of Yorkers, and glad Harsha Bhogle asked Ian Bishop. Bishop makes a great point about the lack of intent in trying Yorkers at crucial points. What if I miss could be for any kind of delivery. Even Seni did not nail it at all.
Absolutely, I think bang on again. What I was trying to say, that you have to try the Yorkers at least. Even if you miss once or twice, it's still tough to hit. You miss your mark by a very small margin. If you make a mistake on the fuller side, it's still tough to hit. So I think Yorker is your ball always, and I heard the commentary of Ian Bishop also addressing the fact. He mentioned that what if I miss, but that is again for any delivery out there. When you're trying to execute the short ball, the full length, the good length. So I think a great point.
The next tweet is coming from Naren. He says, Abhishek Sharma seems to be a very good all-round prospect. He mostly opens for Punjab in T20s, also kind of a floater, having a strike rate of 150 with an average of 24.5. SRH can use him as a floater. He gives that left-hand, right-hand combination too. I think a very good point.
Yes, I think Abhishek Sharma does open for Punjab in domestic cricket, and Hyderabad are using him as a floater, and I think that is working to their advantage. They can send him in any time they want. He can play the big shots. He can play the role of a hitter. He can also bide his time at the crease. So Abhishek Sharma is looking really good. With the ball in hand, I think he may have to improve a little because he bowls a bit too slow. I think he has to work on bowling quicker and turn the ball while doing that. I think apart from that, he looks good.
But I think overall, Hyderabad would be very happy with their performance today against Delhi, because Delhi is a side who were able to win first 2 games. So it was very important for somebody like David Warner to lead the side from front, and that's exactly what he did, eventually helping the team to win the game by 15 runs and register their first victory. Interestingly, all 8 teams have been able to open their account in Indian T20 League 2020 season. First 11 games, and all have registered a win at least, and that's a very good sign for any tournament, for that matter of fact. Very happy for all the sides, and that's it from the post-match review of the 11th game of this tournament. Thank you so much for everyone to joining us. Hope you guys have a good time, and good night. See you guys tomorrow as well at 4 p.m.